What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. Do it right now. And without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start with Brayan Bello, who had 7 Ks in 5 innings, giving up only 2 runs. Hit these 98 and 97 mile-an-hour two-seamers and this nasty 88 mile-an-hour slider. You can see how much potential Bello has, and I expect big things out of him in the future. He was up against Jose Barrios, who also had a solid game with 6 strikeouts in 6 innings, and Barrios' fastball touched 97. He also had these nasty changeups, and of course, his sick curveball. Lucas Giolito had 3 strikeouts in 6 of the 3rd innings, thanks to his changeup and slider. Martin Perez had this painted two-seamer and his rude cutters on his way to 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up only 4 hits. Jesus Luzardo had these disgusting breaking balls, including this one off a quick pitch, and had a fantastic K-strut. He had 4 Ks. But the story of this game was Cole Irvin, who had a career-high 11 strikeouts in 7 scoreless innings. He had a good changeup and curveball, but Irvin gets a lot of Ks on his fastball, and his fastball velo isn't that impressive. Despite that unimpressive velo, opponents are only hitting 182 against his fastball. Irvin's ERA this season is now 3.16, flying way under the radar for most folks. Zach Gallen had 6 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up no runs, thanks to his dirty knuckle curves. And he was up against Brady Singer, who was great again, with 6 Ks in 7 one-run innings. Singer's two-seamer is a total weapon. Check out these front door two-seamers, and this one where he scares the living crap out of Marte. My man was definitely shook. Matt Manning had 8 Ks in 6 innings, thanks to his fastballs and sliders. And he outdueled Logan Webb, who had these nasty changeups and sliders, but gave up 6 runs. Nonetheless, Webb was still very chill after the game. No, that's Todd from Breaking Bad. Cal Quantrill had 6 Ks in 7 scoreless innings. He got a sword on this curveball and had several wicked cutters. But my favorite part of Quantrill's outing was the emotion he pitches with. I mean, he's not James Karinchak, but he's pretty darn fired up here. George Kirby had an outstanding outing yesterday. In fact, he started it with 24 consecutive strikes, which is a new MLB record. Well, at least a record that dates back to 1988 when they started tracking pitches. He ended up with 69 strikes out of 85 pitches. Nice. And he wasn't just laying him in there. Check out the movement on his two-seamer. And here's an overlay of a two-seamer and his four-seam fastball. And you can see what makes this so tough. They're the same velocity, and that two-seamer just drops and runs. Again, this command is no fluke. Kirby did this in college too and led the nation in strikeout-to-walk ratio. Andrew Heaney was outstanding yesterday with 10 strikeouts thanks to his elevated fastballs and slider. He's got a ton of deception in his delivery with his shoulder turn, his low arm slot, which all helps to make his elevated fastballs more effective. Here are some overlays of his fastball and slider, and you can see how tough that would be to pick up for a hitter. Heaney's been really good this year with a 1.94 ERA on the season. Framber Valdez had 8 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 1 earned run, and had his trademark ferocious curveball. And I overlaid his curveball with his fastball so you can see what makes that curveball so tough to hit. You decide to swing, and that curveball's no longer there. Kyle Wright had 8 Ks in 7 scoreless innings, and his curveball was magnificent. He got this sword and a ton of swings and misses. Here's an overlay of both Kyle Wright's changeup and his curveball with his fastball. And you see how well he tunnels those pitches. Wright has been really good this year with a 2.99 ERA, and he's now 16-5, a total underrated ace. But my filthiest pitcher of the day, that would be Shane McClanahan. Sugar Shane went 6 innings with 9 Ks, nice, and was absolutely overpowering. Look at the movement on this 100-mile-an-hour fastball. That thing is absolutely unfair. He also had a painted 99-mile-an-hour fastball and then an array of nasty changeups, curveballs, and sliders. His curveball was particularly filthy this outing. When McClanahan's on, not even Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani have a chance. He's just flat out one of the best pitchers in baseball. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Brusdar Graterol had these nasty sliders and 101-mile-an-hour sinker. Josh Hader had these flaming 99-mile-an-hour fastballs and this slider. Brandon Hughes K'd the side with this filth. David Robertson had this dirty knuckle curve. Pete Fairbanks had this overpowering fastball and wicked slider. And my filthiest reliever from yesterday was Alex Lang with this filth. And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. I have no idea what's going on right here, but this is a great way to start your day. What is up, Ninja Nation? I am fired up today because it is Pitching Ninja Thursdays at FanDuel. So, I'm going to pick a 3-leg same-game parlay, and I'm going to get $1 back for every K in the game. I'm going to take Jacob deGrom for 11 strikeouts or more, Ryan Feltner for 4 Ks or more, and then I'm going to pick the game to be tied after the first inning, and hope for a ton of strikeouts. What would your picks of the day be?